Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today we got the big ticket, KG and Paul Pierce talking about Victor Wembanyama's virtuoso performance last night, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a lot of shots that were changed that don't show up in the stat sheet. You know what I'm saying? So he did his thing, and we also have, Rachel Nichols got on Undisputed, and she made some bold claims about Victor Wembanyama's ceiling, and some people are going to agree, some people are going to disagree. I do know we haven't seen a player like Victor Wembanyama. Again, for those that's old enough to remember, Ralph Sampson is a guy who was able to handle the ball very tall like that, and could shoot from the perimeter. Obviously, they weren't doing that in the game as much back then, but he had a decent skill set. But man, Victor looks like something else. His agility, athleticism, and his adaptation to the American game and how it's happening by leaps and bounds game by game. Not saying he's not going to have any more lows, but the way that he's, like, for example, that pass he made last night in the paint where they threw it and he didn't really leave his floor. He just kind of guided it with his left hand to the trailing player in the paint. That is maturation from the wraparound passes he was doing just 2 games ago, even, in that last Phoenix game. So we're going to check out what Ticket had to say, and then we're going to peep what Rachel Nichols had to say, and I'll be back. Let's peep it.
I didn't want to believe when I saw him you remember in the other league, he shot the 3 and then followed it up with a tip dunk.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, shit. I ain't seen that since Dominique. Like, shit like this.
Right.
Bro, when you saw David Robinson for the first time, you saw it. You saw it. You didn't know what you was looking at. You saw it. Then you saw him play. You saw it, right? Tim Duncan, same shit. When you watch big fella play, you was like, damn, right? That's what I'm talking about. He has the it factor to where I actually worried about I'm not worried about his scoring. Not only that, he's a top tier scorer. Like, not even in playmaking, but in bag. Like, one-on-one, yeah, get in the bucket, yeah. He can 2-dribble pull up. He can step back. He can hit you with the 3. That's something. He got it. He got it to where he can lead a team. Now it's about his IQ and his education. Now here come the schemes. Here come the trappings. Now
that's scary.
He ain't in the scout report either, P. So we know what he looks like in another league. Lord, he looking totally different. With the knowledge that and the stuff that he's getting from San Antonio, you can see the development. You can see how much he's grown in a fucking summer, bro. 3 months, 2 months. Man, get the fuck. Man, I'm talking about watching progression. Progression. Development, bro. He looks not only stronger, but a little smarter. And like when he went to go give a check, I would have came out with the high left hook, right? Man, came under with the. Bro, that ain't 7'6" movement.
That ain't.
Man, Yao Ming was moving like a big ass oak tree when he moved. Shaq was walking through. Man, big motherfuckers who's 7'1" walking through like an oak tree, bumping in this shit.
Yeah, he got that guard work.
Man, I want to see, hey, Wemby, I want to see you in a salsa competition, my dude. I need to see you in bachata. Man, he light on his feet, P.
Yeah,
he light on his feet, P.
I just want to reiterate what this man did. He's facing Kevin Durant, who has been lethal in the clutch with his length and size and the way he shoots. Devin Booker, who has spontaneously combusted at the end of fourth quarters. And this rookie playing his 5th game outgunned both of them. You mentioned the 10 of the last 12 points. That was exceptional. By the way, the Suns only 5 points in that same period of time. Wemby shooting 4 of 4 from the floor in that time. By the way, the Suns in that same stretch, 1 of 10. I mean, this guy walked in there and blew away not just good players, but great players. And we talk about just how good he is in those moments. It's partly because he's been in all of those moments before. This guy has been a pro for years already. He's played and won championships, and you can see it. He has absolutely no fear. This ceiling of this player is so high that after the game, we talked about all of the records that he sort of either set or tied, and you've got names like David Robinson in his first 5 games, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James. Victor Wembanyama's ceiling, I'm not predicting he's going to definitely get there, but his ceiling is higher than every single one of those 3 gentlemen. We've been sitting here for, a decade debating MJ versus LeBron. The ceiling of Victor Wembanyama is that he could render that completely mute. I mean, it's just
hard to believe.
But it's not when you look at the track that he is on and the ingredients he has. And look, Skip, you and I lived through all of the Michael Jordan, next Michael Jordan hype, and the Harold Miner, and the Tracy McGrady, and Vince Carter, and Grant Hill. And Grant Hill is a great example of the fact that health can completely derail this, right? Physicality, all of that stuff. But this kid has the ingredients, the will, the drive, the competitiveness, and the work ethic. Keyshawn, I watched him when he was here in Los Angeles do his pregame warm-ups. He was going nearly at full tilt. He's practicing taking charges 10 minutes before they have to be back in the locker room.
It's good to be 19.
I was literally about to say, when you're that young, you can go full tilt in pregame, and it will not bother you over the course of the game.
I didn't see Zion Williamson doing that.
So many are going to get on the defensive when you hear an argument like that from Rachel Nichols, you know, that the LeBron and Jordan argument could be rendered ineffective, and it could be very premature and prisoner of the moment. We definitely get it. But when you look at Victor Wembanyama's ability, it's not crazy to think that some of the things he has seemingly makes the game unfair, especially when you add muscle. He can hold his position at any given time, because it looks like the Spurs in real time are figuring out angles to get him the ball. You know, when you front Wembanyama, it's not necessarily the best thing if you're a smaller player, because he doesn't have to get in front of you. What you're going to have to end up doing is having someone front him, and then have someone with more length and athleticism on the backside, you know, to try to deflect the ball up high. So you got to front them down low and still try to send someone to get the ball up high where they just throw it over the top. And that's going to command a defender to fully commit where they can't recover. So now you're going to have someone on the wing, or one, you know, on the left or right wing, that's trying to guard two people. So if you have unselfish players on the wing, when they receive that pass, or if Victor just touch passes it to one person or the other, all it's going to take is another simple swing of the ball for someone to have an open shot, or a driving lane, you know, to a mid-range shot, floater, or layup. So he's going to be problematic. And what I like to see is Victor is embracing entry passes at this point, you know, and he's figuring out that at this stage he may have to meet the ball some more if he's going to get an entry pass. So he can't just wait for it. With him still being slender and slight of build, you know, the right person with the right measurables is able to reach around, you know, really quick if they time it perfectly. But if Victor meets the ball, then someone could overplay and he could spin. I like the misdirection spin from the right block last night. He had I'm talking about on like the reverse layup that he had, where he showed it right and spun left almost simultaneously. That created enough separation. He's going to have to go quick on his moves. Now he can't be methodical, because people are waiting for him to put the ball on the ground. So another time that I saw that last night and really situated his maturation as a player, that's happening seemingly at a rapid pace. Go back and listen to my videos on Victor Wembanyama. I said, if you watch him his first game, you watch him a few games later, you watch him later in the season, those are all going to be totally different players. And I'm not talking about from a numbers perspective. You know, last night was who he can be on a nightly basis in a few years, you know, where that's just going to be expected, that type of performance, that type of efficiency, and that type of dominance more than the numbers themselves. But one of the plays where he caught the ball at the free throw line and just elevated and shot over the defense, all they could do is kind of give like a half-hearted contest, because what you're going to do, you're going to over contest and end up fouling them. He caught it last night at one point and turned on KD, and KD had to smack his arm, because there's no way that Kevin Durant, with all his length and athleticism, can contest Wembanyama's shot when he just turns and go into a shot. Especially when Victor gets some body into you, it's going to be hard for you to get up there and contest. The only person I could see that gets on the floor enough to play contest Victor, you know, I want to see the Porzingis game, because I feel like Porzingis has the length and the height. It's not even about your athleticism, because Victor gets it out pretty fast. So at the apex of his shot, maybe Porzingis can get to some of that, you know, and make it kind of difficult for him. but maybe not. Maybe Victor will be ready for that matchup. And Victor just, his agility, man, it really, did you see that when he ran the floor on the right side and he received a pass with a two-hand dunk off one leg? That speed and the fluidity of his running is so uncommon that I think some of the people that's just waiting to see more from him, some of the people just never impressed and they don't know what they're looking for on the basketball court. But that is so uncommon. And then that pass he received coming down the middle of the lane in transition, he took off and took it above everybody with two hands and slammed it. That athleticism. So he's 7'5", and he can jump really high to be 7'5". Like, those plays, I'm like, oh, we see the threes, and that's not common either, the way he's stepping into his shots. But what stood out to me about his threes last night is he took good rhythm threes. When you see the ball go through the basket a few times and he establishes his game in the post, the threes are going to come. He's going to probably shoot around 45, 50%. Well, let me not go that high, but 40, I think he could shoot 40% because he should be getting high quality threes. And a lot of times he's going to be open when the guards penetrate and he pops, because what they don't want to give up is his lob. So when he starts to drift and Trey Jones or Sohan, they swing it back out. If you're giving him any room, there's really nothing you could do as far as contesting. You could stay glued to him and probably want to make one of them other guys beat you, though. That's what I would say. Stay glued to him and let those other players beat you. Because Victor seeing the ball go through the basket is something that the opponents should avoid at all costs, man. I could talk about Victor's game all day long. I actually want to talk about a few other young bigs in the league. Let me know if y'all want to hear it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.